Hey everybody, welcome to Champs Drink Champs. This is Taylor. Solo episode coming in hot today. Shelby is in Blanding with her family. We are just coming off of the long holiday weekend. So we are here alone. And I'm also definitely fighting something off. I do not feel good today. So if my voice sounds a little stuffy, if I have to cut out to grab, I'm drinking some electrolytes right now. And yeah, if like I have to cough or something, if I disappear for a minute, that's where I went. So, whew, so usually my solo episodes are more spiritually based, and I just honestly wasn't feeling it tonight. And I just kind of wanted to hang out with you guys. So we're just gonna do a little hangout sesh. I have a bunch of things that I am loving lately that I want to talk to you guys about. I kind of want to give like a little life update for me. And yeah, I feel like we haven't just like hung out for a while. I feel like we've been kind of going heavy on the holiday episodes, which tend to be kind of heavier topics. So yeah, we're just going to hang out tonight. I have my list right here. I'm channeling my inner Shelby. So yes, exciting. Just a little update with me. I launched my YouTube channel. It's actually been so much work. I know how busy I am, but when I have to like take an hour to record something and then like update it and post it when I don't already have it in my schedule, it is so hard to make the time for it. So, and especially when I teach like 5 to 6 yoga classes a week, it's really hard to take the time of my own personal time to record a video to upload it. But I am going to be getting better at it. It just has kind of taken me a little bit longer than I fully expected. So if you are wanting to follow me on YouTube, it is wellness-with-tay. And I feel like I might need to make that name easier because it's a lot of words to have to say, but that is where I am on YouTube. I will get better at uploading things as soon as I kind of get into the routine of doing it. It took forever for Shelby and I to come into the routine with our podcast as well, just like getting into a recording routine, a content routine, an upload routine, and all the sorts of routines. So if you are already following me on YouTube and you're like, what the hell? Like I thought there would be way more stuff. There will be. I just have to figure out how to make it work in my life. So, which I probably in hindsight should have done that before. But these last few months since our wedding have been kind of crazy. Something that I really wanted to talk about, and I guess this will be a little bit more serious until we get into like the fun stuff, but I have really been going through it. Like, I will not freaking lie. I feel like our wedding happened and everything kind of slowed down. And that was like my brain's mode to be like, oh, okay, we can deal with all this anxiety that you've just like barely been making through. We're just all going to bring it up to the surface. So, and why I want to talk about this and why I'm even bringing it up is because I think it's something that a lot of people go through that we just don't really talk about or don't really understand, because I know that I didn't. Basically, I've been living in like a fight or flight response for the past 2 months until I really caught it and like stopped it. And what I mean by that, so everyone's probably familiar about what's going on with my leg and my past of my blood clot, but I got really, really triggered at the doctor's office. I had the doctor tell me, I really don't know what is going on with your leg. And honestly, I don't remember what he said after that. It was just the fact that he said that. And I was like, oh my God, like, what do you mean you don't know what's going on with my leg? And like when I was telling my therapist about this, all I heard after he said that was like that voice after Charlie Brown or on Charlie Brown when they're like on the phone and it's like murr, 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 murr. That's exactly what I heard. And I started like in the office when I was sitting in the chair. I remember the doctor saying that. And then I remember Tony asking questions. And then I just like didn't hear any coherent words. And I literally just started having like flashbacks of being back in the hospital. And then I was having dreams and all of these things that I was remembering of being back in the hospital and going through this whole thing with my blood clot. And a lot of times trauma will make you forget things. Or they'll shift the memories a little bit so you don't remember it all or you don't remember it correctly. Me, I completely forget. It is actually kind of creepy. It's like black holes in my memory. I'll like try and think back on like the time I was in the hospital with my blood clot, and it's just like a gaping hole. Like I remember tiny bits and pieces, but I don't remember a lot of the pieces. And so for me to start having these flashbacks and to start having dreams, it was like all these memories were starting to come back, and I was a freaking wreck. I was barely making it to work. I was barely eating. I was barely sleeping. And this happened like 3 days after our wedding, I think. It's Saturday. Yeah. 4 days after our wedding is when this kind of all started. And I was just a freaking mess. Like I walked into my therapist's office and he hadn't even shut the door, and I just started sobbing. And he was like, okay, let's talk about this. Like, what's going on? What happened? Was it your wedding? Like he was so lost, so confused. And I just like kind of was telling him, and he was like, okay, we are doing EMDR therapy. And I had been trying to like push off doing the EMDR because I don't know, I was terrified of it. I did not want to remember these things, but I was already remembering them. So why did it matter if I did it in a therapist's office or at home in my bed? Like I was already remembering it. And so he really kind of pushed me. He's like, we're just going to try it. We are going to do it. Like, I really think that it'll help and that you need it. And I was like, okay. So I have done 3 full sessions of EMDR. And if you don't know what EMDR is, it is either eye movements, or eye movements make me really dizzy. And so I use like a little machine that has little buzzers that you put in your hand, and you just hold them in your hand, and it just each side buzzes one at a time. So that keeps both sides of your brain moving. It kind of puts you in like a meditative state. And the best way to describe it is I feel like I'm sitting on a train and I'm looking out the window. I'm just sitting in the chair looking out the window, and I'm just watching memories as they go past, just watching them. And then if there is something that my brain wants to stop and remember, the train stops and like I play out this memory, and then my therapist will pull me out of the meditation. We'll talk about it if I want to, and then I'll just go back into it. And I do this for an hour. It is so wild. It is so wild, the things that have come up. Like at first it started with just like the blood clot stuff, and it's gone into like a ton of inner child stuff. And it's not what I was expecting at all. Like some of the stuff that's come up, I'm just like, holy shit, like why am I remembering this? Like, what does this have to do with anything? And it's like, sometimes I'll figure it out in therapy, but most of the time it's afterwards that I'll like figure out why I was remembering that. And so, I don't know, it's been wild. It's been so incredibly helpful. Honestly, it's been so helpful. But it feels like I am very emotional right now. I am very sensitive. I'm very tired, and I'm not operating at 100%, which is completely normal to be like working through trauma. And I have to keep reminding myself, like today I had all these plans to like heavily deep clean my house and like all of these things, prepare myself for the whole week. And then I woke up not feeling good, and my mental health just was not in the best state today. And I just have to keep reminding myself, like, this is completely normal. This is okay. I had a panic attack the other night. That's why my mental health has not been like top tier. And I get just really exhausted after panic attacks. And so it's just a lot of stuff coming to the surface it's been a lot. It's been a lot. So anyways, before I did the EMDR, my therapist kind of explained to me that I am living in a fight or flight response. And that is why I am having trouble sleeping. I'm having trouble eating. I'm having trouble just like relaxing. And that happens a lot when something heavily triggers one of your traumas. That happens so much. And I had no idea. And if you don't go to therapy and like really pay attention to these things, I don't think that you will know either. And that's okay. This is why we go to therapy. This is why we have like Google. This is why we have podcasts. Like so that other people can talk about these things, so that if it happens to you, you're know, like, this is what's happening. Here are some things that I can do to fix it. Everybody will be different. For me, sticking to my routine of moving my body is key. There was one day last week that I did not move my body because I was just not feeling it. And that was actually the day that I had the panic attack. Like, I have got to have a way to get my energy out. And if I am not moving my body every single day, my energy is staying pent up inside and it just kind of explodes. And so it doesn't have to be anything, I'm not doing like anything crazy every day. I'm kind of sticking to my regular workout routine. And then on the days that I'm not doing weights or cardio, because I usually take like 2 rest days a week, I'm doing like yoga and a lot of breath work on those days just to move that energy out of my body. So that has been the number one thing that has helped me live and get out of this fight or flight response. And also eating healthy has really helped me. I have been craving healthy foods, fruits, vegetables, healthy sources of protein. Like, I have not really been wanting sugar. And if I do eat sugar, I feel extremely sluggish. I feel like that anxiety is kind of going like in my heart, like my heart rate will kind of race. So I haven't really been eating a whole lot of sugar. And really, those are my 2 things besides like therapy that have really been helping me in this fight or flight response that I feel like I've been living in. I was living in it every single day. And now it's like, oh, so sorry of the hiccups. Now it's like every 3 days that I feel like I've kind of hit this standstill of like, oh, I need to kind of like do a mental check-in and like remind my body, remind my mind, like, we are not in a fight or flight response. Like, this is just trauma coming up. It's okay. So yeah, moving my body, eating healthy. If you are living in this or if you have lived in this, definitely recommend those 2 things. So we'll see where it goes from here. We're still working on my leg. I'm wearing a wound vac that is like sucking fluid out. It's absolutely disgusting. It actually makes me nauseous when I feel it sucking fluid out. It's so gross. So that's been fun. It actually has been helping. So we did take a break this weekend because my skin was really not liking the adhesive. And so the doctor was like, let's just take a break. Let's just put a Band-Aid on and just kind of let you like have a break from this. And it's been heaven because it's not very big, but like it's big enough that when I'm teaching yoga, it's really freaking hard. When I'm riding the Peloton, it's really freaking hard. Like, the machine kind of like hits the bike, and like, it's really been testing all of my abilities, to be completely honest. It's not just the wound vac, my leg has really, really tested me. And I hope at some point I know what this lesson was for and what it was about. And I hope I never have to learn it again, because these almost 9 months have literally been my own special form of hell. And so I'm really hoping that this wound vac helps and that I won't have any problems after this, and that this wound will just freaking heal. Because if I have to go through another summer of not getting in water, I honestly think I might need to be put in a mental institution, because I did not realize how much water really helps me. So anyways, that's my little check-in about my life and a little tidbit of info if you feel like you are or have lived in fight or flight responses before. Okay, so I'm going to take a drink real fast. Okay. We are going to, sorry, I just swallowed in the microphone. That was probably disgusting if you hate ASMR. Anyways, we're going to talk about some things that I've been loving lately. And I'm not trying to sell you anything. These are actually, besides one thing, 2 things. They're all free things that you can try or look at or do. So the first one is Desperate Housewives. Here's a little caveat about me. I love watching TV. Like, I think watching TV is the most relaxing thing. I love to get cozy on the couch or in my bed with like a warm blanket, some fuzzy socks, some snacks, some water, some wine, whatever it is, and just like put my phone down and just watch TV. It is like the ultimate form of relaxation for me. So I love to watch series. And I watched Desperate Housewives when it was airing, like the original was airing on TV where I had to wait every single week. And I decided that I wanted to rewatch it. And you guys, I knew that this show was good when it was originally airing, but rewatching it, it is so freaking good. If you've never seen it or if you haven't watched it for years, I highly recommend watching it. It takes a lot of time. I started watching it at the end of spring, maybe like May, like right before summer started. And I just barely finished this last week. Like it takes a lot of time. I also don't have a ton of time to like full on binge watch series. So I watched like maybe 1 or 2 episodes on the nights that I was able to watch it. Highly recommend. It is so good. So then I started a new series today, and it's called The Vampire Diaries. My sister and her boyfriend have been trying to get me to watch it for a while, and I was finally like, all right, I'll watch it. Okay, 8 episodes later today, I watched 8 episodes that are an hour long each. I was like, holy shit, I'm addicted. It's like a better Twilight. And I'm so freaking shocked that I've never watched it before. It is so good. And I'm actually really excited to get done podcasting and recording a meditation for YouTube because then I get to watch it again. And I just can't. Like, it is so good. And the girl that plays the main character, Elena, she is so stunningly beautiful. Like, every time it's Nina Dobrev, I think is how you say it. She's dating Shaun White. She is so beautiful. Like, every time she comes on the camera, I am just like stunned by her beauty. So beautiful, such a good show. I highly recommend it. It feels like everybody else in the world has watched it but me. So you've probably already seen it, but in case you haven't, watch The Vampire Diaries. The next thing is, I am very excited for Christmas this year. I think I mentioned it in a different episode, which is so weird for me, but we're accepting it. We're loving it. I am loving a plain Christmas, a neutral color Christmas. I am so into neutral colors right now. Like, I love glittery, shiny things, but like a glitter neutral color, like a gold or a silver or like a red glitter, like something just neutral is so pretty to me. So I'm going to try not to go off on a tangent here, but I have had the same Christmas decorations since Tony and I were married. I have not changed them. So 2009 is when we got our first set of Christmas, like ornaments and stuff for our tree. Never changed them. And this year I was like, okay, we need to change. These ornaments are so freaking old. I've had the same tree for so long. Like, we are not doing this another year. So I got like thinking about what theming I wanted to do. And I thought for sure gingerbreads. Like, I had a whole setup for my house in my mind of gingerbreads. And I was like, it's going to be so cute. And my living room attaches to my kitchen, so my kitchen can be gingerbread. And I went to Hobby Lobby to get all this stuff. And I was looking at it and I was like, I fucking hate gingerbreads. What was I thinking? I hate the like candy aesthetic for Halloween or for Christmas. I hate it. And I was just looking at the stuff and I was like, oh my God, I hate this so much. So then I was like, okay, maybe I'll do like a red and like sparkly white. I looked at those decorations and my new Hobby Lobby is so busy right now. Like, it was so busy. And so I'm sitting there looking at like all the gingerbread stuff with probably the most disgusted look on my face, because then it was by like the candy Christmas stuff. And I was just like, oh, this is not my aesthetic. I'm not meaning to talk shit. If it's yours, more power to you. I just do not like it at all. And I was just like, okay, what am I going to do? So I was like, okay, red and like sparkly white. That would be cute, like a candy cane vibe. So then I go down that aisle and that section and look at that. And I was like, oh my God, I hate that. I cannot imagine that in my house for 2 months. Like, that is not cute. So then I was like, okay, red and gold. Like, I could definitely do red and gold. So I got all the stuff for the red and gold stuff, brought it home. It took me 4.5 days to put up my Christmas stuff. Again, living in that fight or flight response, I had no energy to do it. Like, I also started school again, and my ADHD is very, very unmanaged right now because I really don't like to take Adderall, but especially when I'm in school, I need to be taking Adderall. So I need to like figure that out because I've just been starting like 7 different things and not finishing any of them. And so I had half of my Halloween taken down, half of my Christmas put up. There was totes everywhere. There was stuff everywhere. There was glitter everywhere. Like my floors desperately needed to be clean. Like it was a mess. And Tony was like, you just need to finish one thing. Like, please just take all the Halloween down or put all the Christmas up. Like, just we've got to clean this up. Tony and I do not like when our house is out of order at all. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to do this red and gold. And then I was like looking at it and I was like, oh my God, I hate red and gold. So I went back to Hobby Lobby and I found the cutest like muted gold ornaments. And I was like, that would be so pretty with like an emerald green. So I went down that aisle, looked at that stuff, and I was like, here we go. Here we go. This is so cute. So my house, that was a very, very long story. Sorry if I lost you, but again, welcome to my brain. So my house is very cute right now with just like neutrals. I have very few muted reds in there, and then like greens, all kind of shades of green, but like kind of in the same color palette of green, and like golds and beiges. And it is so pretty. And I am just really obsessed with it. Like we live, laugh, love, this plain aesthetic Christmas. I even got like plain wrapping paper. Like it is just making my heart so freaking happy. And every time I walk in to my house and I see my tree, it just like really fills my heart with joy and love. And now I understand why people love Christmas so much, because I have a tree, I have an aesthetic that I just am really loving. So there we go with that. The next thing is Abyssal Steam Shot. I've been seeing this guy on TikTok so many times, and I was like, I've had it in my Amazon cart forever. And then it was on a Black Friday sale, and I was like, this is my sign to get this. If you don't know what it is, it's like a little tiny steamer, but it comes with like 10 different attachments that you attach to the end, and you just steam clean stuff. You can steam clean your clothes. I steam clean the shit out of my fridge. I just did my blinds before I started recording. Like it has actually been life-changing, and I wish I was feeling better today so that I could like deep clean my house as much as I wanted to, because this thing is like really great. And I cannot wait to like clean my vents. And I have like one more shelf in my fridge that I have to clean. And it is like truly the best. So if you want to know what it is, let me know. I'll send you the Amazon link. I highly recommend, or you can just go to TikTok and type in Bissell Steam Shot, and it will show you all sorts of videos, and you'll be like, damn, I need that thing, because you do. It makes cleaning a lot easier. And I hated cleaning my fridge, like getting a cold, wet towel and like scrubbing it. And this steamer, like you can get in all the nooks and crannies. It's really wonderful. The next thing is Park City. Let me get another drink of water. Shelby is right. It is so hard to record solo when you need a drink. And I desperately just needed a drink. I'm drinking the best electrolytes. They're called LMNT. And I'm drinking the watermelon salt. And they have zero sugar. I used to be a diehard for liquid IVs. And they have so much sugar. And when I found that out, I was like, I cannot freaking drink those anymore. This is like very salty, very good if you like salt. The best electrolytes I've ever had. Anyways, Park City. Tony and I just went to Park City for Black Friday. We had like this whole weekend to ourselves, except for last night, which was Saturday. We went to a Friendsgiving, but it's really kind of just been us chilling, doing whatever we wanted. And it's been so nice. So we went to Park City for Black Friday. We had so much freaking fun. We went on our second first date in Park City when we decided that we were going to try to like go on a date after we split up. We went to Park City. We went to this delicious Italian restaurant, and I really wanted to go to the outlets for Christmas shopping. And so Tony made a reservation at this restaurant. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. And he made a reservation at this restaurant, and we ended up getting sat in the exact same seat that we were sat in with our first date. And it was very lightly snowing like it was our first date. They had this beautiful Christmas tree up outside the window, and there was just the right amount of snow up there. It was a little warm, but a little cold. Like it was just so beautiful. And I just really, really, really love Park City. And I hate that I live so far from Park City now because we used to go all the time. Like growing up, I used to go all the time. My family used to go all the time. We used to go clubbing up there all the time when we were in our early 20s. Like we were in Park City all the time. And oh my gosh, I just really love Park City. Okay, the next thing that I'm loving is ELF. ELF, ELF. I don't know how to say it, but I love their makeup. But they just put out, actually, I don't think it's just, I think it's been out for a minute, but I haven't been able to find it. This Halo Glow Beauty Wand. If you're watching on YouTube, here it is. I have the blush and the highlight. I'm obsessed. I'm not wearing makeup today, so I can't show you, but this highlight is so good. It is like a cream highlight, which I've never used before. So I was really like kind of iffy about that, but I was like, hey, it's $7. If I don't like it, it's whatever. I'm obsessed with the cream highlight, and it is so pretty. It goes on so smooth. It looks so pretty on your face, like on top of your makeup. The applicator is a little weird. It's like a little brushy type thing. My only complaint is it does get very messy. So that is a little annoying, but you know what? It's $7. I'll deal with the little mess. Highly recommend. The next thing I'm loving is school, which is so weird for me to say. I am loving it so much. I never, ever, ever, ever have loved school. And I really am enjoying it. I feel like I'm learning so much. I feel like it's so exciting, the things that I'm learning. If you don't know, I'm going to school for therapy. So I have 3 prereqs that I had to finish up before I could start like the therapy program. And they're just like psychology-based classes. I am seriously learning so much, and it has been so fun. I just wrote a paper the other day and I got like a perfect score on it. I did not have to redo anything, which was so exciting to me because when I was in school for education, I definitely was like half-assing things because I was just not interested in it. And so towards the end, before like I took a break, I was having to redo a lot of stuff. Like every time I turned something in, there was always like one little thing that I'd have to redo or like 2 little things. And so to get like a paper back the first time and have a perfect score and have the instructor be like, wow, your paper was so enjoyable to read. Like you did such a good job. I was so excited. And I just am really loving it. I feel like this is a really good path for me. And it doesn't feel like it's taking all my time, which is so nice because I was worried about that. I feel like it's very easily manageable and it's something that I enjoy. Like I'm not feeling like I'm having to do something because it's actually something that I'm enjoying learning. So that is so exciting and such like a good space for me to be in because school is so freaking hard for me. So I'm very glad that I like it so much. The next thing is Thanksgiving yoga. So I taught a class on Thanksgiving and it was so much fun. I went in with it like, okay, I'm going to do like a theme of gratitude because of course it's Thanksgiving. And last minute I changed it up. It was still gratitude, but like being grateful for you, for yourself. And like, we really like thanked ourselves for showing up for ourselves before we showed up for our family and like thanked our body for all these, every piece, like our hands, our toes, all the way down to like our blood vessels getting blood to our heart. Like it's actually a meditation practice that I've been doing for myself to like help my leg and just like help my body like know that I appreciate it because I do, but I've never taught that meditation before. And it was really, really special. I don't know. The energy in there was really great. There were multiple tears, which I appreciate. If I do not make somebody cry during yoga, I don't feel like I'm doing my job right. So it was multiple tears and it was just like a really special thing. And so, yeah, the point of me telling about this is that you cannot show up for other people unless you show up for yourself first. And that is something that I've really had to learn over the years of like, okay, I have to show up for myself. I have to show up for myself. Like, I know that working out helps my anxiety. And so I can't be lazy and be like, oh, I'm too busy. I can't do this or whatever excuse I want to give. Like, I have to show up for myself. And if you don't show up for yourself, you can't show up for your family. You can't show up for your spouse. You can't show up for your friends. So it was just really special to get to teach that and to see like that shift in people of like, wow, you're right. And like, see people like at the end of the class be like, oh my gosh, like good job me. Like I showed up here. It was really hard to show up on a holiday, but here I am, like I did it. Now I can take on the day. So yeah, I'm definitely going to record that meditation and put it on my YouTube because I think like meditations like that are very, very important. So the next thing is Chris Webby. He's kind of an underground hip hop artist. Tony and I have been obsessed with him for years. He's putting out all this new music right now, and it is a freaking vibe. Like it is different than anything he's put out before. And I just really enjoy it. Like it's the type of music that you can just put on and it's like not crazy, not like too much, like not like overwhelming, overstimulating. It is just like a chill beat, chill words, chill flows. Like it's a freaking vibe. If you don't know Chris Webby, highly recommend his new stuff that he's putting out. All of his stuff is good, but his new stuff is like top tier. Really enjoying it. I'm also loving cooking right now, which again, just like school, it's really weird for me. I grew up despising cooking, and in my early 20s, like I never freaking cooked. Actually, my whole 20s, I never cooked. And I do not know what has come over me the last few years, especially this year. I love to cook. I love it so much. I think it's so relaxing. I think it's so fun. I think it's so great to like try and find new recipes. And when like you get a good recipe, like it's so exciting. I don't know what happened to me, but you know what? Cooking is like my jam. And I'm actually a pretty good cook, which I'm shocked about because if you ask my sisters, they remember I was in this home ec class and I had to like cook this pie. I completely destroyed this pie and it was so gross. And I was not a good cook. And I'm really shocked that I am now. I do not know what happened. I really don't. I really love cooking so much though. The next thing is nature. I know that I've mentioned this before on the podcast, probably several episodes, but I am just really digging nature. I started microdosing and that has like opened up this whole new world for me with nature. We're driving home from Costco tonight and the moon was like just coming over the mountains and it like seriously stopped me in like my breath because I was in the car. Then it stopped me in my tracks. So like my breath was like, holy shit, like that is so stunning. And like, look at how the sun is setting. Like you can see like the blues and the pinks and the grays and like all the things. Like it was so beautiful. And I just could not even believe it. I also do not ever miss sunsets if I can help it. And I try to not miss sunrises because I think that they're so beautiful. And I don't know, like I just have this insane connection to nature. And even when we were in Park City, I usually hate the snow, but I was just like, I need to sit outside and just like take in like the smells, the sights, like everything. And Tony was like, okay. And so like we just stood outside for like 10 minutes and just like looked at the scenery and just like our feet were in the snow and the snow was lightly falling, like the sun was setting. It was so beautiful. And when we like walked into the restaurant, Tony was like, wow, I actually needed that too. And I was just like, honestly, like in my head, I was like, honestly, nature can solve a lot of things going on in your psyche. And so if you do not get outside in nature, I highly recommend that you start because it has truly been, I don't know, I do not even know how to explain it. It has been so nice to just like connect with the outdoors and not be on your phone or like distracted outside. Like even reading a book can sometimes distract you too much. So like just being, like just looking, just seeing, smelling, all the things. I really am loving nature right now. Let me grab some water. Gosh, I'm so sorry. I'm so thirsty tonight. It's very hard to talk so much and not have water. Okay, the last thing that I'm loving is sound frequency. I think that I've mentioned this before as well, but I'm just going to dive into it a little bit deeper. Sound healing is such a thing. If you've never been to a sound bath before, they're actually truly life-changing. But sound frequencies, so easy to do. Just go on Spotify. I actually have a playlist on my Spotify of some sound frequencies that I've just been like compiling together. There's so many. There's sound frequencies for healing, for releasing anxiety, for falling asleep, for peace. Like there is so many sound frequencies. And basically they're just like a tone at a certain, I think it's like a level, like a hertz. So for example, the tone for like releasing is 432 hertz. And there's just like different songs, different frequencies of like instruments or sounds that are at that hertz level. And you just listen to it. I literally just leave it on my phone when I'm getting ready in the morning, like when I'm in the shower or when I don't do it when I'm like putting on makeup or doing my hair because that's like my podcast time. But like when I'm getting dressed, when I'm in the shower, when I'm brushing my teeth, like I just leave this frequency playing. And I've done it every single morning for like the past 2 weeks. And it is top tier. So Andre 3000 from Outkast, he actually just put out an album where it's just him playing the flute and like other instruments that is all the sound frequency of 432 hertz. And it's so good. There's no singing, there's no words. It's all just like him doing the instruments, doing the flute, producing the music. I really highly recommend it. It seems a little weird and it might be a little bit annoying at first to like just have the same like tone going in the background, but it really sets up your day for something different. Like whatever the sound frequency is that you're listening to, it really sets up the day to be something beautiful. So I will link when this episode comes out. So sorry, the hiccups. When this episode comes out, I will link the album on our Instagram, the Andre 3000 one, because I don't even remember. Actually, I'll just look right now. My phone's right here. Please hold. It is called New Blue Sun by Andre 3000. And it is so good. It is maybe 2 hours long, I would say. And I highly recommend it. I just leave it playing in the background and Tony and I are really digging it. The last thing before we get to an asking for a friend that I'm going to talk about is a retreat that I taught at. It was, my camera just went all sorts of fuzzy. I do not know why that happens. Okay, there we go. I taught at a retreat, a girl that I knew that I went to a yoga retreat for in the past. She is an Ayurvedic health coach, and she put on like a little morning summit thing. And it was so much freaking fun. You guys, it honestly was so much freaking fun. She had 4 different speakers and then she spoke and then I taught yoga and it just went from 8:30 to 12:30. Like it was fast, simple. The speakers were amazing. And it was truly something that was really fun. So I bring this up because I've kind of been diving into the Ayurvedic healing more. You get a very like base level when you get your yoga teaching certification. And after that retreat, I was like, I really want to dive into this more. I feel like this would be really good for me. So if you don't know what Ayurvedic healing is or Ayurvedic health is, it's a holistic way of living. Ayurvedic is Sanskrit and it just basically means the knowledge of life. And Ayurvedic healing goes way back, like thousands and thousands of years. It's what our ancestors probably did. It's a lot of herbs. It's a lot of like exercise and breathing, meditation, breath work, the food that you eat, the things that you consume, how much screen time you have, how much time you have outside. It's kind of what Shelby was talking about when she went to Vienna, how people in Europe just live different over there than Americans do. And they have a very Ayurvedic way of living life. And it's really something that I want to bring into my life more. The sound frequency is a part of Ayurvedic. Another thing that is tongue scraping. If you do not scrape your tongue, you need to start, honestly. It changes your oral health game and your like stomach, your gut health game so much. Something so simple. I scrape my tongue first thing in the morning. I brush my teeth, scrape my tongue before I eat anything, before I drink anything, because the mucus that's on your tongue that's been accumulating all night is like the bacteria, stuff that your body wants to get rid of. And so if you wake up and you drink a glass of water first thing, you're getting that water on your tongue, where all that mucus, where all those germs are, and just swallowing them again, and it goes into your gut. So if you wake up, brush your teeth, tongue scrape first thing in the morning, and then have a drink of water, you're not swallowing that stuff, and that helps you a lot in turn. That's just one of the benefits of tongue scraping. But the first time I tongue scraped, I was absolutely shocked at what came off my tongue. I was actually disgusted. And I was like, holy shit, like that has been sitting in my mouth. Like, oh, it was so weird and so gross to me. And now, like, you just hurry and do it. Like, I do like 3 passes, get all the mucus, get all the gross stuff off. My breath has improved. My like teeth, I feel like, have improved. I do feel like my stomach has improved, like my gut health. It's been so life-changing. So I'm definitely going to share more about this journey because it is super simple swaps that you can do. Very, very simple swaps, like tongue scraping. You can get a tongue scraper on Amazon for $3, I think mine was. And you do it right after you brush your teeth. So literally 30 seconds, like very simple swaps that make such a big difference. So I'm definitely going to be talking more about this Ayurvedic journey. I'll also, if you're interested in the health coach's information, I can send that to you because she's amazing. She's gone through a lot of schooling to learn about this. And there's a lot of different areas of it. So if you're interested in that, Google also has a ton of information too. And that's just what I've been using, is just Google. Like, hey, what's something that you can do in the morning to Ayurvedically heal? And it'll come up with like a list, and it's like, oh, I'll try that. I'll try that. Once I make that a habit, I'll add something else. So anyways, it's been very cool, very interesting. And Shelby said it, like, people in Vienna live completely different, happier lives than we do over here. And that is because they care more about their physical and mental health. And so, yeah, I don't know. That's just my opinion, but it's actually been really fun and exciting to bring these things into my life. So anyways, last thing is we'll do an asking for a friend. I had somebody send in a question, and it said, how do you define beauty? This is a really, really good question, actually. I define beauty by kindness, for sure. If you're not kind, a nice person, I think that you are not a beautiful person, honestly. If you are somebody who is awful to your wait staff, awful to people, awful to your kids, your friends, your spouse, whatever, like that is a very ugly trait. And I do not think that that is something that is beauty. So kindness, taking care of yourself, and maybe those are the only 2. I've actually never thought of this question before. Let's just say kindness and taking care of yourself, and taking care of yourself in whatever way makes you feel good. So I know that I harp a lot on like meditation and breath work. I really firmly believe that those things do help you, but you don't have to do them every day to take care of yourself. I kind of had that thought the other day of like, maybe people think I think that they're dumb if they don't try meditation or try breath work. I don't think that you're dumb. When I say take care of yourself, I don't mean like meditate every day. I mean like take a basic shower, brush your teeth, care about what foods are getting put in your body, care about what drinks are getting put in your body, not smoking cigarettes, like stuff like that is what I mean by taking care of yourself. So yeah, interesting question. I've never thought about that, but yeah, that's probably how I would define beauty. So anyways, thanks all for hanging out with me. That was fun. Hopefully, sorry again, very unmanaged ADD, ADHD, whatever it is. So I'm kind of all over the place. So hopefully you stayed with me this whole episode. Make sure that you're following us on YouTube, follow us on Instagram. We are at Champs Drink Champs Podcast. Share us with a friend. Please like, rate, and review if you enjoy this podcast. Just if you could just go give us 5 stars, that actually helps a lot. So please, if you do enjoy this podcast, please, if you haven't already, if you could just hurry and do that, that would be so helpful and so great. So anyways, we will talk to you guys next week. Love ya. Bye.